Maybe you are a bad singer, like I am, but you still want custom vocals in your tracks. You want your own melody, the lyrics, so how do you do that? We are gonna turn a MIDI melody like this into a vocal like this.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright.
You don't need to hire any singers and you don't need to sing yourself at all either. So let me show you how to do it. So we are going to be using this AI DAW called Ace Studio. I already did a video on this, but today I'm going to show you some more advanced techniques. Also, Ace Studio did sponsor this video, you can check the link below to check it out yourself. Now let's get to it. The basic premise is you draw in your MIDI notes and you type in your lyrics. It's my custom vocal. And then just put a singer on it.
It's my custom vocal.
But of course you want to play around with it a bit more to make it sound even better in the whole song. So I have this drum and bass song and I want to add a vocal in this part. Let me just play it. So that's where I want to add the vocal. How do we do that? You have two options. If you want to sing, even though you are bad, you can. But let's say we don't want to sing at all. Then the second option is to draw your MIDI melody and type in the lyrics. So I think the best way is to draw the melody in FL Studio and then copy it into Ace Studio. So let me show you how to create the MIDI melody so it translates well into a vocal. First, you want to know the key of your song. An easy way to do that is go to one of your chord progressions, like right here. Go here, View, Scale Highlighting, Automatic. And then when you hover over piano roll, in the top left corner you can see the key of your chord progression, which is D sharp minor. So that's the key of our song. Now select the sound you want to create the vocal melody with. I'm gonna use a piano. Go to piano roll, once again go here, view, scale highlighting, and choose the scale you had for the chords, which was minor. Use the right click so the window doesn't close, and D sharp. And now you can see all the notes that are in D sharp minor, which is the highlighted notes. The darker ones are not in D sharp minor. But before you start making the melody, make sure you have the lyrics prepared. So here are my lyrics, really simple. And it's important because you sort of want to count the syllables while drawing in the notes. So it's going to be rise from the shadows. We can actually enable the metronome as well. So just imagine each of these notes being a syllable. So this is rise from the shadows. And start creating your melody with that in mind. Again, use the highlighted notes and preferably sort of sing it in your head while putting in the notes. Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright. So that's going to be the first two sentences, and then you just keep going. So here is my finished melody, and it sounds like this. So what you want to do is go to the MIDI, hit File, Export as MIDI file, and just save it, and you're gonna drag that MIDI into Ace Studio. So just drag it in, make sure it also applies the tempo, and there we have it. Now put a vocal on that track. I put it octave lower, and let's preview it.
Da 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 da.
Now let's type in the lyrics. So we're gonna do rise from the shadows right here. Then the lights are too bright. The lights are too bright. And as you can see right here, it didn't do what I wanted. And the lights are too bright should be this one. So what you need to do is just remove this note and then paste it in. The lights are too bright. Now we have it like I imagined it. So that's how you fill in the lyrics. And if you added some extra notes or not as many notes as needed, just remove them or add one. So once they are filled in, play the vocal.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright, and the dark has arrived, but I'm ready to fight.
So sounds pretty good, but some words are pronounced in a different way than I imagined. So let me show you how to fix that. So these little things before and after the note are important. It shows you how long the syllable is pronounced.
Lights are too bright.
So for example, the lights, I want the to be more pronounced there.
The lights,
Sounds a lot better now.
the lights are too bright.
And also the bright, I want the T to be longer at the end.
The lights are too bright.
Yeah, sounds a lot better now. So that's one of the things you definitely want to adjust. But there's a lot more things you can play around with. For example, here you can see vibrato. So you can make certain words have more vibrato if you want to, for an interesting effect. So let's do that.
I face my demons and
For example, like that. Now, not only can you do vibrato, you can also draw in your own pitch if you want to. So for example, right here, it's 2 perfect pitch.
arrive,
So I'm gonna draw my own.
arrive.
Okay, sounds a lot better. Another thing you can do is add in breaths. So you just go to breath, add breaths, and anywhere where the AI thinks a breath would be realistic, you can add them in.
And the dog has arrived, but I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, it sounds a lot more realistic with that. You can also adjust many different parameters like air, falsetto, tension, energy. So if we want more tension at a specific part, we just go to tension and we can draw it in. So like right here, let's do more tension. Maybe too much, but let's see how it sounds.
Arrived, but I'm ready to fight.
Sounds interesting. Let's do less.
Arrived, but I'm ready to fight.
Way more calm. So yeah, you can play around with these parameters as well. And of course, you can change the singers. You can either choose one singer or you can combine multiple ones at the same time. You also have an option of custom singers, but we are just going to check out the official singers right here from the list. And one thing I really like to do is double click on the singer and add multiple singers on the same track and sort of combine their voices. So I'm just going to add David, for example, a little bit of that, Bianca, and just sort of combine all of their voices and see how that sounds. Let's do more of David.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright, and the dog has arrived, but I'm ready to fight.
Now let's finish these vocals and put them in FL Studio, and I will show you more things that you can do to make them sound even better in the whole mix. Okay, my first vocal is ready, and I'm saying first because we're gonna add some backing vocals as well and harmonies, but this is how the first vocal sounds.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright, and the darkness arrive.
So that's it. Now let's put some effects on it to make it a bit more interesting. So I'm gonna put reverb on it, EQ, boosting the high frequencies a little bit, lowering some of these frequencies, and sound goodizer to just sort of compress it a bit more. Then it sounds like this in the whole song.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright, and the darkness arrive, but I'm ready to fight. I'll face my demons and hold my ground. From the shadows to the light, victory will be mine.
Okay, I'm gonna tease the drop a little bit. I'm gonna show you at the end. This is the vocal. It sounds pretty nice, but it needs a bit more work to make it sound a bit more realistic. So what I'm gonna do is create backing vocals. And it's really simple. You just go to your A Studio where your vocal is and right-click the vocal, create vocal doubles for this track. And you can choose how many percent it should be similar to the original. So let's do like 75. And this will create the doubles. But what I wanna do is change the main singer to a different one and do the same once again, create vocal doubles, and then again change the main one to a different one, create vocal doubles, maybe different percentage, and now remove the lead vocal and just keep the doubles. And I created a bunch of them, so we have this feel like multiple people are singing this, so it sounds like this.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright, and the darkness arrive, but I'm ready to fight.
So yeah, I really like that because you can create this feeling that multiple people are singing at the same time, even though it's just you. So my backing vocal is in FL Studio and it sounds like this.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright.
But we are also gonna put some effects on it to make it even better. So I'm gonna put Stereo Shaper on it with the Stereoize 2 preset, which is gonna make it sound like it's coming from the sides instead of in the middle of the mix.
Rise from the shadows.
Then I'm gonna put Neon Glow, which is my own plugin, and it basically just adds some reverb. You can use reverb and lower the dryness, but I prefer to use my own plugin. It's actually available in FL Cloud in the new FL Studio version, so you can check it out.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright,
So we want it sort of echoey in the background because it's the backing vocals. Then I have some EQ on it to boost some of the mid frequencies.
Rise from the shadows.
I also rendered out one more vocal, which is the same one, but with a different singer singing it, so it sounds like this.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright.
So now we have the main one,
Rise from the shadows.
another one, which is more quiet,
Rise from the shadows.
and one more, which is the backing vocal.
Rise from the shadows.
Then it sounds like this.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright, and the darkness arrive, but I'm ready to fight.
I really like that, but one more thing I want to do is add some harmonies. They are gonna seal the deal for sure. So once again, here's our vocal. To add a harmony, we're gonna duplicate it. So we have the same one, double click the second one, and create the harmony. So what I want to do, I sort of want to stay on D sharp because that's the key of our song. So that's going to be a really simple harmony. So to select all the notes in a specific key, just hit the key and it's going to select all the notes and then use the arrows to move them up or down. I'm just going to move all the notes to D sharp. And now we have a really simple harmony. Let's see how that sounds.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright.
Okay, and to make it more interesting, instead I'm gonna do I'm ready to fight in the lower key right here. Let's see how that sounds.
But I'm ready to fight.
Oh yeah, that sounds a lot better. I like that. So we're gonna move this one as well. And we're gonna do the same at the very end. Victory is mine. So if you don't know what note to use, even though you have the highlighted notes, you can just experiment. Try one, see how that sounds. If it doesn't sound right, try a different one. And actually, I'm just gonna use these harmonies right here. So to export it, we actually wanna solo this vocal, only the harmony vocal, and hit export audio. Export it and put it in FL Studio. So once it's in FL Studio, it sounds like this. Also with the same effects that I put on the lead vocal.
But I'm ready to fight.
And actually, I just want the harmonies for the last phrase, and then once again, just the last phrase over here.
Victory will be mine.
So let's see how that sounds.
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright, and the darkness arrive, but I'm ready to fight.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Now it sounds like a proper vocal. I actually decided to slowly fade in these backing vocals. So at first it's just the lead vocal. But if you noticed, I have one more right here. It's actually these vocals right here. So it's the same one, the lead one, the second lead one, and the backing vocal. But I put different effects on them to make these sound sort of like pitched up vocals, like kids are singing it or something like that. I just wanted this interesting effect. So what I have is Evox Punch.
Rise from the shadow.
Then I have pitch shifter, where I increase the formant by 2 semitones. So it's on voice, increase the formant, and that's gonna give us this pitched effect.
Rise from the shadow.
Then I have reverb with low dryness, so the vocal is more in the background.
Rise from the shadow.
Some EQ.
Rise from the shadow.
And delay.
Rise from the shadow.
So that's gonna be the vocal in the drop, sort of a pitched up version of it. And yeah, that is pretty much it. That's how you create your custom vocals with your own lyrics. You can adjust them any way you want. So if you want to, check out A Studio, link will be below. And if you use the code Arcade Music, you'll get 5% off on your purchase. So check it out. And now let's preview the whole song. Enjoy!
Rise from the shadows, the lights are too bright, and the darkness arrive, but I'm ready to fight.